And just like that, it's day 5 of Camp Create. I can't believe it. It's been an amazing week of creating art and admiring creation and spending time with our Creator. Our final verse for the final day of camp is 1 Corinthians 10:31, and it says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." So for today's final project, our showcase project, you'll need the handout from the camp packet, your texture grid from day 3, possibly your other projects to reference if you'd like, your final badge, and your poster to put it on. Okay, I'm going to start by sketching out my idea with a pencil. There's 4 things you want to keep in mind when you're creating your poster. You want to include a place, possibly a mountain, a forest, a desert, a beach, a canyon, anything you created from your landscape project. The second is adding an element of sky, a blue sky, a sunset, a sunrise, a night sky, maybe the stars and the moon, anything you can think of, or possibly the elements you included from day 2 project. Third would be a texture from your texture trek. And fourth is some kind of symbol or a path, like a river or a trail, a special destination, maybe a compass would be a great thing to include. So use your imagination and try to keep those 4 factors in mind. So I'm going to start by adding a mountain. And by adding my mountain, it'll immediately create the skyline for me. So I'm going to reference my mountain based upon the mountain from the Camp Create poster. So maybe something like this. So now I have my mountain, and like I said, it created my sky. So now on my mountain, I'm going to create a path, and my path is where I'm going to include my 4th item, which is the texture. Okay, from the top of my mountain, I'm going to start my path, and it's going to start narrow and then get wider, kind of like it's disappearing over the side of the mountain. So I'm going to draw one side starting here and just winding it down my page. And then the other side is going to start here, and then as it comes down, it's going to get a little bit wider. Now, like my mountain from yesterday's project, my map, and the mountain in the Camp Create poster, I'm going to make it a snow-capped mountain. So I'm going to draw another line here. It kind of indicates where the snow stops, and you can see the rest of the mountain. So now I get to use my markers. You can use colored pencils, crayons, paint if you wanted to, and start coloring in my poster. I've basically created my own coloring sheet here. Using my elements from all 4 projects to create my final showcase piece of what I've made this week. I'm going to color in the bottom of my mountain, and I'll be right back to work on the path. For my path, I'm going to do it in this light brown color, tracing my lines all the way down. And then I'm going to use a darker brown to add in my texture. I think for me, this path kind of symbolizes the journey that we go on in our creativity as we learn new skills and we learn how to express ourselves artistically. We go on a journey. And it's not always a straight path or an easy one, but if we keep going, God will get us where He wants us to be. At the top here, I'm going to make my texture really small and kind of close together, kind of signifying that it's like farther away. And as I move down my page, I'll make it a little bit bigger. Outline it. And now I'm going to color in my sky. is my final showcase for Camp Create. I can't wait to see yours. It has been an honor to create alongside you this week at Camp Create. I cannot wait to see all of your final showcases, so be sure and tag us on Instagram at Jen Crowd the Art Gal. And with that, it is time to add our final badge to our poster. And just like that, that's a wrap on Camp Create National Park 2026. I hope you had an amazing time, and you always remember that you were created to create. I'll see you next time.